Aloha world! I'm Amazing Aubra, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about giving a prostate massage, hence milking the prostate, and giving the feeling of a double orgasm, and how that kind of correlates to having anal sex with a woman. First thing for me when it comes to the prostate is the fact that no matter what, if someone's going to be getting something in their butt, unless they have done it several times before, know exactly what to expect and have no issues with it, it can be a little bit intimidating. At the very least, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, let alone possibly painful. So doing it the right way and taking your time with it is absolutely important. Not breaking your partner's trust if you want them to enjoy it and get the most from the experience. I talk a lot about setting our standard of orgasm really high. I want it to be the best orgasm every single time that my partner's experienced, and I personally want to have the best orgasm I've ever experienced. Of course, I don't always hit the mark, but that's why I have some pretty amazing orgasms and create them as well, because I set a high standard for myself. So when it comes to doing a prostate massage, I want that person to be as relaxed and as comfortable and enjoy what I'm doing as much as possible. So I'm going to take some kind of precautionary measures in that sense. First of all, I always put on gloves, or at the very least a condom on my finger, partially because there might be a little mess, which typically isn't that big of a deal. It's probably not what you're thinking if you've never done it before, but also for the ease of gliding in and out, especially a condom on the finger. It helps it to kind of go in and out of the hole very easily. Also, it's my philosophy to overlube versus underlube when it comes to anything going in and out of the anus. So the pain or the discomfort is going to come from that first sphincter muscle. Once you get past that sphincter muscle, there's nothing really else, unless someone's brutalizing you in some way, that you're really going to hurt. That sphincter muscle is going to create the majority of the pain or discomfort of being entered anally. So just, anytime you're nervous, you're afraid, that muscle naturally clenches. So you're going to want to try to mentally just relax. This is something you're going to try, accept the fact that there might be a little discomfort, and just try to relax as much as possible and allow it to go in and out as easily as possible. So I always, like I said, use lube. And the very first thing I do is I just kind of open it up. I just kind of see how the person's going to react. So just the fingertip and just slightly in and out. Okay. Now I'm not really past that sphincter muscle yet. I'm just kind of on the outside edge. If they seem okay with that, then I'm actually going to kind of enter that sphincter muscle, stretch it out a little bit. Okay. This is where the bulk of the discomfort is going to come. Once someone gets accustomed to that and there's not a problem, then I'm going to start to shove more of the finger in. Now, where to find the prostate? It's always going to be on the belly side, okay? And it's in, some people I have to push my finger as far in. Now granted, I don't have long fingers, but I've got to push my finger as far in as it will go, and I'm barely touching it. It is going to feel, they call it a squishy walnut. It's a little mound, and it has little ridges on it, very soft and slight, but nonetheless, so as you're feeling in, you're going to be feeling for that, like I said, that squishy mound. And sometimes, like I said, I can barely get it with my finger. If someone kind of clenches their abs, their belly muscles down, kind of like they're going to take a big poop, it can help push that prostate, I have found, down a little bit, or protrude it just a little bit, so it's easier to find as well. So then we're going to go in and just kind of like the female G-spot, we're going to manipulate it. Some people like a come hither motion, others like a tap, others like a rub. I would, try out several different things and see which one the person responds to the most favorable. And then you're just going to kind of continue it. For men, the sensation that I hear most commonly is they feel like they are, want to come, and then they feel like they've come. The penis doesn't necessarily have to be hard, and they don't really have to produce, any semen for the most part, or, just a little dribble. But they feel that sensation of coming and it kind of coming up their penis, but there's no real, orgasm that you can see or ejaculation. I also have people tell me it's just relaxing. It's just relaxing or interesting. Every single time I have given someone a prostate massage, though, it has changed their orgasm. It has made it a little stronger, a little more intense, and definitely a little bit more memorable. So it's worth a shot no matter what. All right, so you're going to get in there. The goal I like to aim for is stimulating the prostate at the same time that the cock is being stimulated to orgasm, so that that release is, even stronger. Whether you have the person that you're doing it on play with their own penis, or, you do a right hand, left hand job, the goal is to kind of give them that double orgasm. Some people, though, that kind of doesn't happen. Remember, you'd rather take it slow. And there's always another time to try. It's always another time to put, something in the ass and try. So if it's not happening the first time, no worries. There's plenty of time in the future. But anyway, you're going to take it at the person's pace, whatever they're comfortable with. But eventually try to get to the point that you can have that kind of double orgasm. There are other things that can be fun, little variations on that too, including like anal beads. That's a whole nother feeling sensation altogether. Now, when you talk about having anal sex with a woman, here's the biggest mistake that most people make. First of all, ladies, let me talk to you first. All right, anal sex, when done correctly and your sphincter muscle is relaxed to the point that you can accept it, and that it doesn't hurt you too bad, anal sex is very pleasurable. It is a totally different dimension and adds a totally different sensation. And yeah, it makes our orgasm stronger too. There's more nerve endings in your anus than pretty much anywhere. So, take advantage of that. Even just having the outside played with, even just a little lube and just a little rubbing on the outside is really great, let alone a rim job. Play around in that area. If you're worried about smell or mess, it's really not that big of a deal, but there are different things you can do to kind of prevent against that as well. But anyway, when it comes to entering a woman anally, most of the time what happens is a man at some point says, I really want to have anal sex. And the woman says, okay. She typically likes you well enough. She's like, all right, I'll let him. And he lubes up his cock and he starts to shove it in her ass. That's right. And yeah, guess what? No matter how small your cock is, I guarantee you it is going to be wider. Maybe not longer, but wider than my finger. Okay? So yeah, that's a lot of stretching. Men, if you don't want me jamming something wider than my finger straight into your ass right off the bat, then don't do it to the ladies, okay? We don't want that either. We don't want our anus hole ripped or it to be, sore, not be able to go to the bathroom for a few days without being in pain. Neither do you. So, if you want to have sex with a woman, especially if she's never done it before or she's already telling you I've done it and I hate it and it doesn't work, then, try just playing on the outside. Get her to the point that she's like, maybe I am willing to try it again. The time you decide to try it, accept the possibility, the fact that she might not allow it or want it to go all the way and you need to stop. But again, condom or, glove, a little lube, and just the tip until she's like, okay, a little more. Now we're going through the sphincter. And when you get your finger all the way in, you're halfway home. Now, if never two fingers. The next step is never two fingers. You don't want to go twice as wide and rip her ass, okay? So if you have a fairly decent sized cock at that point, you're going to go from the finger to a small toy, preferably vibrating and helps to distract from the pain. But it's the same thing. You're going to work that toy in and out and in and out and in and out. And once she's enjoying that enough that the toy isn't any problem for her to accept, then you can think about your penis, okay? Playing with the ass can be a lot of fun when done correctly. The last thing you want to do is, like I said, leave someone scarred for life or thinking that that's not fun at all. Yeah, you might, it might feel good jamming your penis into a tight hole, but when your partner's hating it and miserable, is it really going to create that great of an orgasm? Just asking. All right, well, that's my little 2 cents on the prostate and anal for now. And I hope you enjoyed and watch some of my other videos. I'm Amazing Aubra. You can look for me on the web, amazingaubra.com. All right.